So I thought I would make a video today on how to transition from a one-on-one service delivery business into a more scalable online course business. Whether you're running a coaching business or a consulting business, I want to talk about how to make that transition over to an online course as mentioned. We have over 55,000 people in this community now, and there's a lot of people who are coaches and consultants. So I thought this video would be very fitting. And even if you're somebody who's just starting out and a complete beginner as well, I will still give you a lot of value in this video. So without further ado, let's just dive into my computer and talk about how to transition from one-on-one coaching and consulting into online courses. And I made that transition myself. I was running a one-on-one service delivery business making around $55,000 per month in profit, and I decided to move away from that into the online course model. And I want to talk about the why. I want to talk about how to do it and some very good key points that you can keep in mind as well if you're thinking about making this transition yourself also. So here's the agenda. I want to talk about, first of all, my story, so you understand where I came from and how I did this transition myself. Then I want to talk about the decision. So what was it that really made me want to make this transition? And then finally, I want to talk about the path. So how did I do it? And how do I recommend that you do it as well? Because a lot of the time, a lot of the people who have an online coaching or consulting business or doing one-on-one service delivery, that is basically paying the bills. That's making the money, but it also generates that golden handcuffs, right? Because you're in a business that makes you money, but you also understand that it's not that scalable. It's taken up a lot of your time. You started this business to get more money and time and location freedom, but then you come to a point where you can't really scale anymore because you don't want to do any more sales calls. You don't want to do any more service delivery calls. So you don't want to scale because you don't want to handle more clients, but you want to scale because you want to make more money, but you don't want to use that model. So it's a very tricky thing. Like, how do you transition from it? Do you shut this down and just start this from scratch, or how do you do it? So that's what I talk about. I also want to mention this before I dive in. If you want some more personal guidance from me in the DMs here on Skool, you can comment max DM below this post, and I will send you an automated message with 3 questions that you can answer. When you answer those questions, I can come back and give you some input on that as well. So the more thorough you are with your response when you send, or when I send you that DM, the better I will be able to guide you as well. And if you're somebody who's a little bit more serious and you feel like this is something that you really want to do, you want to start an online course, you want to go all in, we also offer some one-on-one coaching calls with our success team, completely free of charge. We don't pitch you anything on these calls, but it's only for the people that we know that are serious about this and actually want to go all in. So if you're somebody who wants to go all in after watching this video and you want to get some more input on how you can make this transition yourself going into online courses, comment max DM below. I will send you 3 questions, answer those as thorough as you can. And if we think it's a good fit to give you a little bit more help and support on a one-on-one call, where we don't sell you anything, by the way, we will offer you that in the DMs as well. So let's begin with my story, right? So in 2017, I started with an online consulting business, and I ran a marketing agency doing around $50,000 per month in profit, serving residential roofing and solar contractors in the United States. And I was living in Sweden. I still do, about to move to the US now, but that was my business. We did great. We took my first ever customer, we took from, they were taking them from low 7 figures to 8 figures. And our biggest client, we basically doubled their 8-figure company while cutting their advertising costs in half. So when they started with us, they were spending like $55,000 per month in ads or in marketing. They were doing door knocking and canvassing and like billboards and all of this stuff, some Google ads as well, and like Home Advisor, duplicate and expensive leads, blah, blah, blah. In 2 years, we took them from like $13 or $14 million per year to $33.6 million per year. We did that in 2 years. And their advertising spend was like $16,000 to $17,000 per month. And we only did Facebook ads for them. So we had some really good results. And I got more clients. And I got great testimonials, video testimonials. And like my first client paid me $10.5K per month. And we were generating in the millions. Now looking back at it, I could probably have been paid a lot more. But things were going really great. But I couldn't scale it. And I will come to that in a second, right? The problem was that I started the business to get more time, money, and location freedom. But the more clients that I sold, the less time I had, right? I was constantly on sales calls, onboarding calls, support calls. I wanted to make more money and scale, but I didn't want to serve more clients, right? At the same time, I needed the income from the business, right? So I needed to have the business because it paid all my bills. So I had the golden handcuffs, right? I was stuck in a business that I didn't really want to be in, but I kind of had to be in it to make money so that I could pay my bills and save up and invest and all of these things that I wanted to do, right? And that's called the golden handcuffs. And that's the problem that most one-on-one service delivery entrepreneurs get into. They start with it and then they realize that, heck, bro, I can't scale this. I can't take this further, and I'm constant on sales calls, constant on service delivery calls, all these support calls and all this stuff, right? Also, no passion. This is also a big thing. I love the business model, right? But I didn't enjoy the market that I was serving. I love the people that I was serving. I love the roofers and the actual solo contractors. They were amazing human beings. They were awesome. But I had no passion for roofs and solar panels, right? I simply did the service since I was good at it and had found the problems that I could solve and then monetize and build a business from it. The idea of scaling a business by hiring people in a market that I didn't enjoy, it was not an option. And did I see myself working in the roofing industry for the rest of my life? No, right? So this is also very common that happens with people who run marketing agencies or service-based businesses. They figure out the problem that they can solve and they solve it pretty good, but they are not really that passionate about that problem, right? So that's also this thing with the golden handcuffs. They're like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm good at it, it pays the bills, but it's not that scalable. I don't want to scale it. I don't want to hire a bunch of other people to do the service delivery for me. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? And this is the place where I got to, where I felt very, it was a low part of my life. Things were going great. I'm making a lot of money, but I was like, I don't want to do this. So then it's the tough question is like, what do I do from here? Like, what do I do now? What's the next step? How do I make it scalable? And how do I start selling something that doesn't require me to sell my time, right? So the decision then, what was it that made me want to make this decision and move from one-on-one into more scalable one, and how did that work, right? So the decision, there are a lot of people in similar situation that I used to be in, and the first thing you have to do is just to decide that you need to break free from your model. That's the main thing. It is a bit scary, but it's more than possible, 100%. And you don't have to kill it right away and bet everything on something new. You can simply transition over time, right? So what I did is that I didn't just kill my business that was generating the money, but I started to plan on the side. What can I do? Right? I started seeking help from others that could guide me as well. And actually around this time, I started working with two different coaches. One was a coach who basically helped me with investing, and he was a really good entrepreneur. And he was the one who first started challenging me to think through like you need to start to look into a different model, right? And from that, we started going to online education. I'm going to talk more about that later. But I also started working with a coach that helped me with myself, right? My sleep, my diet, and my exercise. And a huge thing started happening from that as well. Like first thing, I was probably sleep deprived, undernourished, and I didn't move enough. Or I actually was working out quite a bit back then as well, but I didn't sleep enough and I didn't eat well, or well enough. And I was pretty just like burnt out from doing all of this. So when I fixed myself, started to get more energy up from sleeping better and doing all of these things, while also then starting planning on a new, like how to transition, I started to feel a lot more optimistic. And that's when everything shifted for me, right? So, but the first thing here, that's a little bit of a tangent. The first thing you need to realize is that, do you want to be stuck in this one-on-one? If you just look at every individual who makes a lot of money in entrepreneurs, they're not selling their time, right? It's a great place to start, but if you want to transition, you need to transition into selling products and make it more scalable, right? So the transition, will this require some more work for a period of time? Will you have to potentially double X your work hours? Yes, potentially. Will it be worth it? Absolutely yes. The business model you're in is the biggest leverage point you have. That's the thing that you need to realize. And if you're not going to kill this business that's already working, but transition into this new one at the same time, and will that require a little bit more time and energy and focus from you? Absolutely. But you will also get a lot of new energy from doing this, because you will see the potential in it. So if you're running a one-on-one service or coaching and consulting business now, keep running that. Maybe you're not actively putting as much time to bring in new clients in, but just spend that time on planning and building up this new business instead. And it's also very good, very good if you can get some help and guidance in this transition, right? Because you obviously want to make this new business model work. So when you're selling a digital product, like an online course, for example, which is what I recommend that most people transition into eventually, they go from one-on-one service into online education. And then the third step after that is that people start building software companies, but that's later. So you need some guidance, so you have a good product market fit here as well. And then you slowly start to build this thing up, and this thing might start to stagnate or maybe go a little bit down. And then once you see that this thing is generating as much, if not even more than your service, then you could either just coast on this business and keep scaling this, or just completely kill this and go all in on this, right? And that's why it's so good to get some guidance in that transition as well, right? So productize your knowledge. You must move away from selling your time into selling products. And the best product you can sell in the world is a digital one, especially now when we have the internet, right? Instant service delivery, no shipping, free to develop, in extremely high demand when solving a real problem that people want to solve. And there's a reason why almost everyone on the internet making big money is selling information, and then eventually going into selling software as well, because it's digital and it's scalable, right? And you can have insane high profit margins. You just need to learn how to make that transition in a really, really good way, right? And if you're somebody who is, just to get your gears spinning a little bit in your head, if you're somebody who's running a marketing agency right now, right? Instead of you creating a product, teaching your customers how to do it themselves, which can work, but also a lot of the time, the people that you're selling your done-for-you service to, they're buying it because they want done for you. So instead of teaching them how to do it yourself, which they might not want, you can start teaching other people to become you. So that's how I started. Instead of me teaching roofers how to run their own ads, I started teaching other people how to start roofing marketing agencies. Worked really, really well, right? Or let's say you're a health coach helping people with their health. Either you can transition into course where instead of people working one-on-one with you, you can teach them in the course how they can do it themselves or do it with you. Or you can start helping other health coaches that already have a coaching business in the health space, how they can scale it like you did. Or you can teach beginners who want to get into the coaching space in the health space and teach them how to get started, or do both, right? There's so many different angles to this. And this is why it's so important that you get help from somebody who can guide you on how to position your online course as well, and your digital product. Scalable. By making the move, you'll finally be able to take yourself out of the picture as the product selling your time, and instead creating a digital product that can be sold tens, hundreds, or even thousands of times, right? This is the move that you must make. This is the decision that you should take. You must face the sooner rather than later, and it will change everything for you. And I saw this tweet from a guy who made an exit with his company for $1 or $2 billion. I don't remember his name. I saw it. I just scrolled past it. But he had a list on his biggest takeaway from like that he has learned now from building a business and making an exit and all of that. And he had like a list of like 20, 30 points that he talked about, all the way from marketing to products to sales to R&D, all of these things. His number one thing is, and I'm paraphrasing, is that the biggest leverage you have is the model that you're in. Basically, your business model is the biggest leverage that you have. And if you're selling time, you don't have not a lot of leverage because you only have so much time, right? So the more, if you can go into a business model that's scalable and have high profit margins, and you're selling it an info product that's in high demand, you can sell it over and over and over and over and over again, while still providing an amazing product to your customers, provide amazing results for them if you build your digital product the right way, because they achieve the transformation that they want. And you can also offer them support in a scalable way as well, with a community, with Q&A calls, in-person events if you want to do that as well. You can do so many things to create an amazing product and remove yourself from this one-on-one service delivery. So let's talk about the path now. How do we make this transition and how does it work, right? So the path. So what do you sell? What do you create a product about? Do you create a course for your current consulting and agency clients? Well, you must think this through very deeply. So let me explain. I'd already talked about this a little bit earlier, right? You must make sure, like when I was running a done-for-you service for roofers, I actually tested to create a course for them. The problem was that they didn't want to do the actual thing themselves. They wanted a done-for-you service, right? So then the second course that I created, instead of me teaching roofers how they could do it themselves, I started teaching other people to become basically me, how to start an agency. And that was in super high demand, and people loved it, and people get amazing results. I still get people coming up to me. Now, like, for example, Dylan, who's working side by side with me now. He went to a dinner with a bunch of entrepreneurs in San Diego a couple of weeks ago, and he met the guy there. And the guy was like, "Oh, so you work with Max? Yeah, okay. I used to go through his SMMA stuff, and that dude literally changed my life." I'm still getting people hearing that from people still to this day. And this is, how long is this? This is like 5 years ago or something, I think. 5 years ago. Time flies by. So just making sure that you position your course the right way can make the world of a difference, right? But the main thing is that you have knowledge, you have experience, you're sitting on gold that people want to know, whether you're current clients in an online course or you teach other people out there in the world to do what you have done, right? It's super, super powerful. So if you already have a coaching or consulting business, whether if you're making 5 or 10K per month, what I would say is great. It's great, but it's also on the low end. You can still teach people how to start the first business, make it 5K per month. There's millions of people out there who want to do that. And it doesn't have to be about money, obviously, or change their physique. You don't have to be the best in the world to do this, right? You can just teach people the first steps to get to a certain point because you have done that, right? So my first course failure, I thought it would be a genius to teach roofing and solar contractors via an online course how to build their own internal marketing department, and it failed. And here's why. I'll just talk about that because they didn't want to do it themselves, right? My first course success. My second course was teaching other people on the internet the business that I had built for myself, right? And it crushed. It did really well. It started scaling, and within 4 months, I was making more than $45,000 per month, almost replacing the income of my agency. Right? So in the first 10 days, I made 10K per month. First 20 days, I made $20,000 per month. And within like 3-4 months, it made $45,000, $50,000 per month. So that was the first one. And then I launched Course This Business. It made over $50,000 per month within 1.5 months, right? So if you can just get the guidance to make the positioning right, it can crush. And we also had a customer, he also had an agency, a consulting offer. He was making $200,000 per month with that, right? He started pre-selling his course with that before it was even built. He collected over $50,000 in cash and $150,000 in contracted value in 3 weeks by moving himself away from his agency into the online education space, getting a proven path that he could follow, and he absolutely crushed it. Super, super cool to see. So see the difference, question mark. You must teach something that people want to learn, right? If you've been starting a one-on-one service delivery business, you have experience that millions of people around the world would like to learn. Literally, there's a ton of people who want to learn how to start a business online or whatever it is that you teach, health, relationships, whatever it is. If you start teaching people what you've been able to do for free and you teach that for free on social media and then sell it as a course, it can absolutely crush it. If you have the right guidance, if you have some people who have already done this to overlook what you're planning to do, you get some feedback on it, get some guidance, and you get to work. Will you have to do maybe double the amount of work you're doing right now? Yes. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. Because your business model is the biggest leverage point that you have. So the course roadmap, if you haven't been going through the free course, this is our model, right? We help you with the traffic, we help you with your lead magnet, we help you with your funnel, we help you to build your product, we help to build upsells and essential products as well, like masterminds. And that's basically the roadmap. If you haven't gone through the free school course yet, I can highly encourage you to do so, to just at least the first 2-3 videos so you see what we're doing, right? Especially if you're coaching or coach or consultant right now who are interested in this transition. I would highly, highly encourage you to do so. Also, what you can do is that you can go to course.com/start. So if you go to course.com/start, here you can see all of our reviews, all of our testimonials, people that we've helped. A lot of those people, by the way, are people who are currently a coach or consultant that want to go into online education and make it more scalable. We have a video here that you can check as well. David Goldman, for for example, he was actually running a med spa business in person, and then started an online course helping other med spa business to scale med spas that he has been done, and then also make an exit from it. We have just watch this, and it will give you a lot of inspiration from other coaches and consultants who made this transition. You can read through hundreds of testimonials here. We have over close to 1,000 5-star Trustpilot reviews, all of that stuff. Also, what you can do, as I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to get some personal guidance from me in the DMs, comment Max DM below this post on Skool, right? In our free Skool course. When you comment Max DM, you will automatically get a DM sent to you where I ask you 3 questions. When you answer those 3 questions, then I can come back and help you and give you some guidance based on those 3 questions. And if you're somebody who's serious, right? If you're somebody who's like, I actually want to do an online course, I'm very interested in this, I'm intrigued by it, I'm interested in it, I'm going to get some more guidance from somebody on a one-on-one call, we offer that as well. But we only offer it to the people who we notice are actually serious. So we just want to call it whatever you want, qualify you a little bit in the DM. I just want to make sure that you're actually interested in doing this, if you are, I will offer you a one-on-one call with our customer success team. We have people taking those calls who won the Skool Games, by the way. So it's actually people who know Skool really well, know online courses extremely well, and can give you some guidance. And we don't pitch you and sell you anything on these calls. If we're only providing them to give you some more help and support. So if you want that, comment Max DM, answer those questions, and we can take it from there. So that's basically it for today's video. Go all in, go to course.com/start, comment Max DM below. Think through if it's about time for you to make the leap and make the transition from one-on-one service delivery into coaching or consulting. And also this goes for everybody else watching this video as well. If you're somebody who just want to go into online courses, we have a lot of people joining our program as well who just want to skip the one-on-one part and go directly into courses as well. That also works if you do it the right way. If you have a skill or something that you can teach people, you can absolutely crush it with online education. It's awesome. And being on Skool makes it even better. So that's it. See you in the DMs. Let's go.